carry of the Ezreal potentially. Didn't work out. And now in game number 3, this is where all the chips count. This is where it all matters. You got to throw all your money at it. And Ultra Prime going to be on that blue side yet again. No change-ups as we have Rogue Warriors on the red side. Again, a lot of similar bans as well, Penguin.
Very similar, but the one big one that has been banned away there by Rogue Warriors is the Nocturne. They've let that open the first 2 games. It didn't work out great for Ultra Prime in the first game, but then they put it onto ZS, who was far, far more proactive with it, was able to make a lot of things work for it. They actually banned away the Lilia as well, so with a lot of different things available here, I'll be curious to see what Ultra Prime prioritize.
I think the Karma ban as well by Ultra Prime really nice. The Lilia obviously focusing on Hacker's, one of Hacker's main champions, but also just champion he did really well to support his team with last game, especially, and being able to get that through for him was really, really nice. And you've got to see what he's going to be able to pick up this time around. I wonder if they just go tried and true, baby. They get the set first pick.
Yeah, set has been working very well for them, even with ZS in the first game. It was, obviously if you had Flash, I would have preferred it, but we won't go back onto that particular tangent. But, it has been a staple and is very, very solid engaged tool. And the reason why that particular kind of sentence is very important is that a lot of teams rely on their support to be Mr. CC, Mr. Engage. When you have something like the set that can take that over, it opens up the door for something like a Lulu Kog'Maw to be able to be picked.
And for the first time of the series, and I don't know if I'm happy about it or not. It kind of feels good, kind of doesn't. We get the Udyr coming through for Rogue Warriors, something that has not been banned away, but hasn't been super high priority either in this series at least. And now with potentially that coming through, a little bit of pace in the early game, a little bit of jungle control, they lock in that Akali.
Yeah, Akali's such a strong pick in the meta right now. Does pretty much everything, high mobility, able to assassinate backlines, and does very well into the laning phase as well. Like, yes, we'll get pushed in a little bit in the early levels, but apart from that, does very, very solidly. And for Ultra Prime, they've been kind of shying away from the Lee Sin this entire series, but I feel like if they want to try and take this win, yep, they're going to have to lock that one in. And honestly, this feels like it needs to be in your wheelhouse for both top and mid, because it is something that is just too strong in the meta right now.
Yeah, you definitely need to be looking for that. I just want to point out something we saw on the screen. I love that little grouping of SMLZ fans. They all have the sides. I love it. There's got to be so many SMLZ fans in there from the time that this guy has spent in the league. So I like to see it. Rumble is the pickup for Ultra Prime, though.
Yeah, and again, you're just trying to get your damage profiles going. Hacker back onto an AP jungler. He's pretty much played AP junglers exclusively this entire series with the Lily and the Rumble. So it just opens up the door for you to be able to kind of like obviously flex the set and the Lily Sin between mid and top. Keep the people on the side of Rogue Warriors guessing. And again, I don't see a problem with this from Zhong Wuji. The Ezreal was doing fantastic damage in the first, second, and probably in the third game as well. So now they can ban away things like the Kog'Maw and make sure that SMLZ does not get a favorable lane again.
Yeah, there we go. I like to see some draft adaptation coming through from Rogue Warriors to get the main target off the board. And I do really wonder where the next couple bans go here, especially for Ultra Prime. I was thinking maybe you look at the Engage, you look at the CC, they already take off the Leona. Now, do they commit a second ban to that? That is another question to see. And if they maybe want to go for a little bit focus on the solo lane matchup they have. Rogue Warrior is going to go ahead and ban the Vera. It's been a very prominent ban for them so far. They saved the last 2 for the ADC of SMLZ.
And honestly, I do agree with this. Like, you're kind of, just limiting the scope of SMLZ.
1v5.
This has been 1v5, 100% SMLZ on the Kog'Maw in the game too. But these are all these different, kind of AD carries that can take over the bot side, that can make Ezreal feel a little bit weaker as you come into it. And we can see now what the side of Rogue Warriors want to do. They've put 8917 onto a couple of different picks so far this series, trying to see what he feels most comfortable with. And this time they're going to put him on the LPL special, the Gnar, up in that top side.
Gonna get some nice combos there, especially. But I just like the Gnar in general for the versatility that it brings to the Rift, that you do have that strength of being able to play back and forth with the mini Gnar, mega Gnar. It's always so influential, especially, and I really like to see that kind of versatility on the Rift itself. this is a pick that would be really interesting. It kind of alludes to maybe what we're looking at in the bot lane, but it is going to be the big old catfish, Tahm Kench, coming into the fight for Ultra Prime. And with Tahm Kench being picked up, it leaves Jhin to where maybe you can pick it up. Maybe you go for one of these carries that maybe isn't as mobile, can get caught up, but you still have that safety in the lane. You still have that strength in the lane. And honestly, if you're looking for that late game carry again, this would be a stellar pick for SMLZ, and they lock it in.
I was just about to say, like, the Senna is something that it was banned pretty much exclusively by Rogue Warriors in the first rotations. They were not letting it through, and then they finally do. And we do see the Tahm Kench Senna and the Bard on the other end of that. So they're looking to just go full poke in this bot side, try and get as much pressure as they can and mitigate the kind of, safety you get with the Tahm Kench and the Senna. It's going to be a battle of sustain in this bot side, and it's basically going to be a, yes, the later game is, kind of equal on both sides, but the Senna will just become so obnoxious. The healing you're able to kind of combo with it is just insane.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see now how Ultra Prime are able to work with it, but for Rogue Warriors, they have engaged. They have ways of making this work, and for Forge on the Sakali, I want to see him pop off.
I need to see the pop off earlier than later, right? Sooner rather than later, because you have Ezreal getting stronger in the bot lane. You have some scaling factors there, but if you can get the influence in mid lane, if you can get a little bit of a lead for Forge, who we said could be the mainstay here for Rogue Warriors, the one that is going to pick up that mantle, the one that can carry the games and be that leader for the team. The Akali's the one to do it on, right? We've seen so many flashy plays throughout the LPL on Akali's, and especially if you get that gold early on, if you get the proactivity on the Akali with the team, that's where it works out the most.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see now how the fights do end up kind of going out and see how they're able to utilize this set. Third time in a row we're seeing it on the side of Ultra Prime. Game 1 didn't really work out amazingly. Game 2, they worked out a little bit better. Actually, a lot better, I would say. In Game 3, now we'll see if they're able to make it work. But I'm curious that we've seen both sides of the coin. Early proactivity, late game kind of, scaling from both these teams. And I want to see now who is going to be able to build up that advantage, especially now that you have the Graspy Undying Senna with the Tahm Kench on the bot side.
I mean, this bot lane, not gonna lie, is probably gonna be a little boring, but I'm still excited for it, man. I'm still excited to see what happens in the later game. There's maybe a little bias of my ADC play coming through, but we are on to the Rift. Game number 3 between Ultra Prime and the Rogue Warriors. Winner of this game takes their first series of the 2021 LPL Summer Split.
Let the Gyos go for a little bit, as everyone's starting to get a bit hyped here in Shanghai. And yeah, honestly, this could be a huge... It sounds terrible to say it like this, but what I mean by it is that this could literally be the difference between last and not last.
Yeah,
and this is the level that these two teams seem to be at kind of right now, and it is a good kind of litmus test, good way to look at how they shape up against each other. And for Rogue Warriors, they don't want to be last again. They don't want to be in 17th. They want to be able to kind of push forward, and they've looked good in kind of letting Zhong Wuji on this Ezreal, getting him able to kind of push forward and become that nuisance and that big carry that they need him to be. Now it's up to Forge to really solidify that setup and kind of say, look, right, I can also be a carry, I can also be a threat, and Ultra Prime needs to be able to mitigate that.
And that's what I keep digging into it, but man, Forge is the guy that needs to shine through here. And you said it a little bit, but like, you're on the Akali now. You've had a couple good games, honestly. Even the Lucian game, y'all didn't win, but you still look pretty good on the Lucian. You were able to set some things up. But you've got the Akali. You literally are sitting in the captain's chair right now, and you're ready to go on the Akali, and I want to see that execution come through. But it's a question of how you get that early game, where those avenues come through, because you do have some solid pieces on the side of Ultra Prime, right? And finding those avenues for it is going to be the difficulty, but you got to believe in Ice Coke and the combination of Forge.
See if they're able to make anything go for it. Right now, it is going to be pretty much farming. Both sides of jungle, both Rumble and Udyr have almost identical times in terms of their farms, so see why they're kind of such a huge priority in these early laning phases, able to get themselves on the map. Oh, Forge, that was unfortunate. No one saw it, don't worry.
It was just not going to see. It was just, it was the smudge on the screen, like the internet kind of...
It happens. It happens. But yeah, like there shouldn't be too huge of engages. Very difficult to dive either side of the bot lane. Very difficult to do anything against the Akali unless Forge really does overextend. There's, you know, again, very much at level 6 when around these dragon fights, we should be maybe seeing something, you know, massive. But Hacker might also find himself a little bit of an advantage if he's able to kind of maybe catch an overextending Akali or, maybe an overextending
I was just about to say,
might be a bit of an issue.
The only like thing in this that's a little bit crazy, a little bit different, something that can really be a path forward for Rogue Warriors is the roaming of Choo-Choo on this Bard. Being able to get that influence early is really nice on the Bard, and knowing that the Tahm Kench Senna is just going to stay in lane, going to be a solid piece down there, you can look to get those 4-man fights around the other sides of the map.
Ooh, a little bit dangerous there.
So
Hacker
close,
almost got caught out. He was sitting on a ward, so they knew exactly where he was, and everyone started roaming up for him. He resets, gets himself back into his jungle as quick as he can. We'll have a little bit of an earlier reset, as we did see Ice Coke try go for that trade as ZS. Dropping down the W, seeing if he can get any extra trade, and should be having a pretty decent time in this lane. It is you know, a fine one for him to be able to max that W, to be able to clear that wave and push himself into an advantageous kind of, you know, roaming kind of setup for the top lane.
That's something else I want to talk a little bit about, is this Lee Sin pick. Hasn't been in this series so far. It does finally come through for ZS, who, you know, they've been trading the Nocturne up there. Now you get the Lee Sin and some real carry potential up there as well on that. And really finding your groove in the matchup against the Gnar is going to be very crucial to being able to get out of that lane, help the rest of the team, especially when you're looking at those skirmishes in the jungle.
Speaking of skirmishes, we're actually going to see Irma pop the TP in bot side. He's still running.
He's running so fast, Penguin. He's running so fast. But not going to be able to catch Choo-Choo and Zhong Wu, but they do get a play potentially down here on the bot side, unless the Rogue Warriors are able to move up. Yeah, it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer for that to go down, but still, you're starting to see the movements from Ultra Prime. You're starting to see kind of where their heads are at, but here's where Rogue Warriors' heads are at. They're in bot lane, looking to take down your carry in SMLZ. He's going to gobble him up. SMLZ flashes out of it, but it doesn't matter. Ice Coke gets the first kill, or at least gets a kill. Not first kill, but they get a second one right afterwards as well to Zhong Wu.
Yeah, that was just really good use of the teleport. Irma tried to use his on bot side. That means the Forge has a teleport advantage. He knows that he can go roaming towards his bot side. They pick up 2 nice kills there, and they burn all the summoners from Ultra Prime. Let's have a look at the replay of what happened on mid lane. Oh, he just gets landed by, yep, flash in, Q lands, boom. Oh, the flash was so close, but a nice little safeguard there onto the ward means that ZS able to clean that one up. And this is why you pick something like Lee Sin. He's able to make something that is seen as a super safe lane like the Gnar not so safe.
Yep, so it's kind of alluding to is just the strength that can come through from a pick like that. Especially, Penguin, when you start getting kills, because Lee Sin, it gets a little scary when he can just make plays any which way he wants to, and you start breaking ankles on that champion. But I want to see if maybe we see Rogue Warriors try to put out that flame a little bit. I don't expect so. I still expect him to put more focus towards this mid lane, towards this bot lane, as we've already seen.
Yeah, and that's the thing, really, isn't it? It's the fact that the Lee Sin can make those plays, can make, you know, kind of things happen should anything go, you know, if it's needed by his team. But of course, for the 8917, he still has the, you know, the big Mara ultimate. He's still got ways of coming back into this, and it is still a relatively even trade, I would say. You know, in terms of top lane and bot lane, in terms of everything, how everything went, the Senna Tahm Kench combination will still scale. It doesn't really need to win that much, and even then, like you can see there, Xiaoxi is almost identical on CS, only 5 behind at the moment, so not really hurting that much in the grand scheme of things, but will be feeling pretty confident as they move in back in towards this lane.
When you're talking about confidence, Ultra Prime were confident in taking that first dragon a little earlier than last game, so very nicely done by them to move forward on that, knowing they have the window open to them. Will be that Ocean Dragon to start us off, and especially a little bit of regen early on for this Senna Tahm Kench lane is going to feel really nice. But I want to see Ice Coke get active now. I want to see something come down for him, and really, honestly, I want to see the gold go into Forge.
Yeah, we talked about how we wanted to see Forge being active in the early game. He's done that so far. Went to the bot side, was able to help pick up those 2 kills, so he has himself 2 assists. And we can see there Ice Coke just passing in through the mid lane, knows he's going to want to be able to try and force out this wave so Forge can get a free again, maybe look for a recall, or maybe look to try and roam towards top side to try and get that Rift Herald.
They have already sniffed out that they were trying to start this Rift Herald, though, as ZS moves down, gets the scrying brush, but nothing gonna come of it. They can't fight over this because priority was gained by Rogue Warriors in the lanes, although Hacker might have something else to say here. It's about 3,500 health is that Rift Herald. They've got Irma coming up. I think they've decided or realized the trouble that they could be in, as they've got a lot of missing members over Rogue Warriors. Irma goes in anyways, showstopper on Ice Coke. Ice Coke can't do anything really. Here's the late TP now coming in, but what's it really gonna do? And yeah, unfortunately for Rogue Warriors, they get kind of caught with their hand in the cookie jar.
And honestly, this is like a better version of exactly what happened in game 1, I believe, or 2. I can't remember. Actually, it was game 1, where Ultra Prime like overextended to try and defend against Rogue Warriors taking the Rift Herald and got caught as well as giving away the Rift Herald.
Yeah.
This time round, they get themselves a kill on the retreat while also, knowing that they can't fight that Rift Herald. So definitely learning a little bit more in the process. As we can see now, Hacker moving up towards this top side and maybe looking for a little bit of a dive. No equalizer though.
Narbar about halfway full there, yeah, but doesn't have really the tools needed to complete that dive. Just making sure to push 8917 off of the wave, get a little bit of plate gold there for ZS as well. Forge doing pretty good on the trades in mid lane. Choo-Choo just roaming up to make sure can be there just in case. I love the movement so far. Nothing has really come through for the Bard, but the heads are there, the movements are there, and if you can get those in the next couple minutes, 5-10 minutes, you're able to find some of those kills, at least even one, that feels really good for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, exactly. And, if even kind of, anything down towards like, turret pushes or anything like that, you have, of course, got the Tempered Fate to be able to stop anyone from over-aggressing as such, as we can see there at the bot lane. You actually have Ice Coke now finding himself in the jungle, has got a pink ward to sniff out Hacker.
Here comes Forge. Forge is coming down.
Yeah, they might look for a kill here. Forge is here.
Yeah, he's taking a ton of damage. They're going to TP and Equalizer. As Rogue Warriors have to head for the hills, they're going to go ahead and use the Magical Journey away. And Zed has almost got the connection on the Sonic Wave, but not going to do it. And after all is said and done, nothing really happens. Just smoke clears, and you see that you've got the flash burned actually for Rogue Warriors on Ice Coke.
Yeah, but you burned the TP there from ZS, so you can see a lot of free time going up on this top side. 8917 able to pick up himself a plate and a couple of minions for free, so he's back up in terms of that regard. Might be ahead in XP as well, but not falling too far behind despite that kill in the First Blood early game. But again, very kind of quick decisions for Rogue Warriors. They realize, like, look, as soon as the TP comes out, we need to leave, we need to get out of here. And I do like that from them. And, being very tempered, making sure they're not overextending, and just trying to get as much as they possibly can without giving up, anything untoward.
Yeah. And there's a dragon coming up in about a minute. We saw heavy focus from Ultra Prime early on down there, at least at the 7.5 minute mark. And now I would like to see Rogue Warriors transition down that way. You already see Ice Coke completed the back, is going down towards that bot side of the map. You're getting a reset there as well from Choo-Choo and the bot lane from Ultra Prime. So I wonder if we're going to get that first big clash around this dragon. We are 2-2. It's been a little bit breakneck, at least comparatively to last, where we're seeing kind of stillness, calm, cool, collected. This time it's a little bit of both. You're getting a little craziness, a little bit of calm, cool, collected. So I want to see how this next dragon pans out and where that focus, or who takes that focus early on.
Oh, dragon in 20 seconds. You do not have TP on ZS, so he's kind of like left alone on this top side. It will be 8917 who will be able to join, not the Lee Sin. So he's going to want to try and keep that Gnar in his vision at all times. The only full item that's been finished up right now has been that Night Harvester for the side of Hacker. But Rift Herald in this bot side, you can see the pressure is just about the plates right now for the side of Rogue Warriors as they try to, build themselves a little bit of a vision around this dragon pit.
You start up the dragon over the side of the wall. Hacker's right there as well. ZS on his way down. Again, like you said earlier, doesn't have the TP, but can provide some presence here. Ultra Prime moving up towards the bot side of the fight. There's the equalizer to go on to Zhong Muji. Ice Coke has to get away from the Tom Kench. The dragon already goes over, and that's the second dragon just picked up by Ultra Prime. Pretty much free delivery here for them by Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, and I feel like it was a little bit of a waste really for or for 8917 to really TP to that. You just lost Mega. You didn't have any Gnar bar built up to try and, you know, build yourself back up into a Mega Gnar. You're still waiting on first items like the Divine Thunder, which just got finished up there by Zhong Wuji. I feel like it's fine for you to give this one up and then fight at the next one. Yes, they don't lose anything. They should be fine in the long term, but looking at it from that point of view, it didn't really look like it was ever going to really work out for them. And now you're kind of losing the pressure around the rest of the map. As SMLZ, Tempered Fate, but he should be fine.
Yeah, I think there's a little preemptive there from Choo Choo, just maybe looking to catch out SMLZ, but luckily Xiaoxi was right there just in case. And that's the presence of Tom Kench that feels so good for Ultra Prime. Here comes the Showstopper, and Forge went the wrong way there, has to flash over the wall. And he gets out by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, has to use the flash and the perfect execution there. Oh, not quite, not quite. Still missing out with that ultimate there, as we can see Hacker towards this top side. And Ultra Prime, they're starting to feel good. Even though they are a little bit behind in gold, they're the ones that are kind of being proactive. They're the ones that are making the plays around this, you know, kind of early mid game.
I really, really like to see, especially with the composition that they picked up, right? You're getting that proactivity. And then you always have the insurance card down in the bot lane. You always have SMLZ getting stronger, having the Senna stack up for him. Xiaoxi as well, just going to be that protective bubble for the Senna. And it's Rogue Warriors just trying to find chips in the armor, trying to find ways under their skin here, and finding something that can get them a little bit ahead here, keep that pace up for themselves, and not let them get outscaled, right?
You still have a lot of damage with the Akali and the Ezreal later in the game, but yeah, like this Senna Tam Kench makes it so difficult to make that damage stick, especially considering you're just looking to try and hit Mystic shots off to the side. However, with the pressure they have garnered for themselves and the resets that are coming in, they are going to try and look for this Rift Herald. But
Hacker's
Hacker
here
is
though,
around.
man. He's always here. He's always there. He just knows what the path he's going to be. He knows that if he shows his face, it's going to put a little bit more pressure on Rogue Warriors when trying to execute, but it does not come to anything this time around. Rogue Warriors will be able to pick up their objective here when they started that Rift Herald. See if they want to just use it mid, perhaps, but that bot lane's getting a little bit worried for that tower. Oh, they actually went in for the Tempered Fate in mid, but not going to find the follow-up to it.
Yeah, not able to get anyone kind of going with that one there. You need, again, you very little engage outside of the Gnar, Mega Gnar coming out from the side of Rogue Warriors. So, but again, you know, this has kind of been the story of this series with the Ultra Prime saying, look, we don't care about Rift Heralds. You can have it. We'll just keep farming bot side. And they're sitting on a ward, mate. Xiaoxi probably realizes as everyone's just kind of pathing towards him and just kind of backs himself away. But again, Ultra Prime very happy to trade, you know, that objective for time, experience, and money in that bot side, but with the Rift Herald dropping in mid, nobody here to really defend it. It's almost certainly going to fall.
Got about half health on the tower. Rift Herald does spawn there. Actually, stop for just a moment. But there's the charge. There's the take. First tower goes over to Rogue Warriors.
First tower mid, obviously very important to try and, you know, gain control, especially when you're down on dragons. Should give you a lot of pressure in that regard. So see the tongue lash missing. And
they missed both of them, man. A little bit of a field side. They're getting them out of the way early on.
Yeah, exactly. You want to keep them for the big team fights, but yeah, right now, like Ultra Prime, they should be feeling pretty comfortable just to be able to keep scaling up. The Tam Kench, the Senna, they'll both be scaling very, very nicely. ZSism towards this top side is going to take away this tier 1 in the top lane. Ice Cold goes back knowing that, look, we can't really go for this. We can't really fight this right now. We need to go for the resets, and we need to get back onto the map because that dragon is up in 45 seconds, and they lost mid-tower anyway. Yeah,
that's really unfortunate. Just kind of Rogue Warriors getting pulled across the map by Ultra Prime, and as you said, can't give up that dragon stole point, right? Like this is pretty big for at least the tempo control for Ultra Prime, and they've done so good at making sure they are there for the fights. They are there when they need to take the objectives. Now they've got the freedom to kind of let it go if they need to, and can play around that.
See if we want to go for 16 seconds. You have got a TP on ZS, and again, all the flashes are available except for the mid laners. Mid laners obviously did have a bit of a fight there earlier, and they will not have that one available. So for Irma and for Forge, they might be in a little bit of trouble. They both have alternate waves of getting out, as Irma might be in a little bit of trouble as everyone starts piling into the bot side. He should be fine. But yeah, like this is a big dragon right now for the side of Rogue Warriors. You can't let this one go.
8917 just starts it up to get it going, gets the party started here, handing out the refreshments, almost having the net mega bar full here.
Gone?
Dragon's already gone. There's TP. That's going to be back behind after double TP now coming in. Ultra Prime looks like they want to go ahead and take the fight. They've got the way forward. Equalizer comes across. They're just going to set a line of scrimmage here. Now they go for the re-engage. Forge is looking to pop up, but Forge gets popped, as Zhong Wuji is going to be able to take down Irma. And now we have the 4v4 happening on the other side. Look at ZS, though. The big Meganar ulti's going to come through, but look at the damage from Hacker. He's going to pick up a double, follow up the Sonic Wave. ZS looking for a third. Can't find it off the back of it, but they might get under towered here. You've got 4 members. You got Tom Kent. You've got everybody here. This is a little bit wonky from Ultra Prime, but they really want to go for it. Dawning Shadow comes out. They get the kill they needed, and they're going to go forward for Zhong Wuji. One more strike, and that'll do it as well. Another kill for Hacker, who all of a sudden, off the back of that craziness, is 5-0.
Massive fight there for Ultra Prime. They lose the dragon. They were just a little bit too late on the trigger to be able to try and contest it, but they make sure that the escape plan from the side of Rogue Warriors was just not good enough. Now you can pick up all those kills, you pick up the tower, you can reset with all this lovely gold, and you can see here the 2 TPs are coming in. They're just a little bit away, and it's actually the Temper Fate that kind of baits in Rogue Warriors. They haven't quite got the Mega Gnar. Great equalizer there to try and just separate and slow people down, and then it's just a bit of a scrap. Forge, yeah, he thinks he has somebody there, but immediately gets taken down so quickly and out of the fight, so he has to back away. And this is just a native 4v4. There's nothing else to it. Great Gnar ult there from 8917, but he's too low, and he's just being slowed down constantly by these Senna Qs, and the rest is pretty much history.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Go ahead and write it in the history books, sign it, because that was a heck of a fight by Ultra Prime, and really just the decision making for me was really interesting in that fight for both sides, right? You had the re-engage from Rogue Warriors. They felt really confident in it, but Forge gets popped. But then the calmness in the moment for Ultra Prime to realize what's happening, the back and forth of the fight, but then to press forward when they needed to and be able to seize that one forward, even though they did lose that dragon. Doesn't matter when you can get that much gold on Hacker, who's now sitting on 8 stacks as well on the Dark Seal.
He might turn that into a Magi Soul Stealer as well. Honestly, it depends on how the next fight one goes. But yeah, like right now, this Rumble is so far accelerated. You don't really have the magic resistance on anyone to deal with this equalizer, and even combo that with the fact that the Morello's Grievous Wounds will just be stopping any kind of healing whatsoever makes this such a potent combination. And for Hacker, he is going to be very pivotal for for Ultra Prime if they want to be the ones to come out with the win today.
They definitely are looking for it, at least. As we said at the beginning of this 3rd game and at the beginning of the series and everything, it's first win of the summer split here for either one of these teams, and you know that means a lot. Even in the grand scheme of things, it might just be a drop in the bucket. It is a very emotional, very driven drop, if you will.
Yeah, you don't, this is probably the closest these 2 teams are gonna, realistically come within, victory for themselves. If you're looking at some of the other teams that be playing, even some of the mid-pack teams, that they're just not really gonna be up to scratch to try and take down, and especially for someone like Rogue Warriors, who had a very disappointing spring split. You do not want to continue that into summer, and 2 quick losses would not be the greatest of starts for them. But right now, you're looking at Ultra Prime in prime condition, in prime position to be able to take themselves to their first win and to bring Rogue Warriors to their 2nd loss.
I absolutely love what you did there. Gotta use the names in there. Gotta get the branding going. But yeah, it's interesting to me that we've seen a lot of fighting, a lot of scrapping. It's been primarily around the mid lane, around the objectives at least, or mostly the dragons, if you will. And now with about 50 seconds until the next dragon comes up, another soul point possibility for Ultra Prime. Rogue Warriors really need to set themselves up yet again for this one. And make sure you're taking the fights that you want to take. Forge seemed to go in a little bit on his lonesome there, just trying to initiate something, try to be the catalyst for his team. But if you can kind of buy your time and be calm and patient, kind of like Ultra Prime were in that last fight, I think things work out and pan out a little bit differently for Rogue Warriors composition.
Yeah, the problem is they don't have that kind of time to build up, and they don't really have the patience. They don't have the time for the patience. There's going to be another dragon spawning in 20 seconds, and that's when this gets a little scary. We mentioned it a couple of times, and they set the rip up a little bit too far. He's gonna reset there, but 10 seconds till this dragon does spawn. And it's actually, again, Rogue Warriors who are in position to be able to win. Both TPs available, all flashes are there, all ultimates are available.
And Rogue Warriors already started up. Same game as last time around, right? Zhongguji is there popping shots into the dragon. There's the equalizer, feeling like deja vu here. The dragon is stolen away, and that's sole point for Ultra Prime. They get out of dodge after that fight as well. Rogue Warriors are trying to find something. They're scratching, they're clawing, but they can't find the engage that they wanted. Now maybe 8917 gets engaged on. Okay, not going to follow that one up as he gets out with the jump. Rogue Warriors just kind of get the rug pulled out from underneath them.
Yeah, they were a bit separated in that one. They were trying to look for a pinch where they could jump in with 8917 in the Mega Gnar. They were looking to try and get Dragon and jump straight into a team fight, but when the Dragon goes away and then you're getting slowed down by the equalizer, your Tempered Fate it comes out a bit too early. It's all a bit all over the place there for Rogue Warriors, and they just give over the objectives, saying, oh, thank you very much, we'll take that one for free. And now for Rogue Warriors, you're looking down the barrel of 4 minutes time. You've got to fight at this Mountain Soul. If you have a Mountain Soul now on top of a Tamken Senna, Kali can't kill anyone. Kali can't do anything. She's just going to be hitting brick walls effectively and just jumping in and immediately having to ult back out. It's just not going to work for her. As I say that, they're looking for an engaged Forge.
I will say the Forge, he hasn't been able to blow anybody up this game. There have been really, like, you've got 3 assists, you've got some damage on the Akali, right? But there hasn't been those crazy, insane plays on the Akali where you're literally seeing like the 1v2s, 1v3s, where you can pick apart teams piece by piece. It's just not there yet for Forge.
Yeah, and you can see right now they're kind of feeling like they need to make something happen, so they're hovering around this Baron area. They're trying to see if they can get something, but the equalizer down just to try and poke people down. But look at Irma on the backside.
Yeah, he's on the back. You got Forge flanking too, but the fight's already going to be gone. Irma, showstopper into the fight. 8917 is forced out. Big A-maker, but look at Forge. He's on his lonesome yet again. Here's the re-engage at least by Ultra Prime. They want to find it. Oh my god.
Oh, nice.
ZS with the Sonic Wave, and they're going to follow this through. Dawning Shadow, they're coming across. Rally the flags because this is Ultra Prime taking it to Rogue Warriors. What a fight, and that's an easy Barret.
And what a way to do it. Not only do you get 4 kills, but you get the Baron. You can now go back onto the map, push out these waves. They're already pushing in your favor anyway, so this is just all perfect for the side of Ultra Prime. They're the ones that are coming out so far ahead of this. They're going to be able to balloon this 4,000 gold lead into probably 7 or 8, but this is just desperation for Rogue Warriors.
Yeah.
They think they have the flank there, but you're being flanked yourself. There's Irma coming in. He's got the Stride Breaker, and he just jumps straight down, makes sure the Ice Coke cannot get away, and a great Dragon's Rage kick to stop the engage there from Forge, forcing him to flash out, forcing him to get away from this entire fight. And then a flash kick lands it, and that's just go signs for everybody. Everyone from the side of Ultra Prime is saying, go, go, go. We win this fight. They do not have the Hellfires. They do not have the damage to kill us, and they're just able to clean up house.
Man, when you see all those flashes on the same cooldown for both teams, you're like, something fishy just happened. You see everybody flashing away or flashing forward at least, and now Ultra Prime taking complete control of this game. The thing I want to point out about that is Forge tried so hard to find an engagement, even forcing it, and was just forced into the same situation he's been in all the other team fights. You have ZS right in front of your face. You have Irma right there. You can't take the fight. You can't get onto the one member you want to get on, which is SMLZ.
Right now, I wouldn't even say the one who's in SMLZ. I'd say if you would get Hacker out of this game,
or
it would
even,
be fantastic for him. Yeah, like just anyone who can do damage.
Kill Hacker, though.
That's the thing. It's like he's already a full item. There's the Tempered Fate. It's absolutely nothing. There is an equalizer though to force the disengage from everyone on Rogue Warriors, and right now you just can't do anything about this. Rogue Warriors, you're just too far behind. The Senatam Kench is just going to be too much.
Forge was looking for the play. Ooh, Zed almost goes to the Dragon Rage kick back to the team. Not gonna find it this time around, but you got 50 seconds for that Mountain Soul to come on the board. And Ultra Prime already looking to push out bot lane, try to potentially break this tier 2 tower if they want to, while they're waiting for that dragon to spawn.
Still waiting, but they still have a bit of Baron buff, so they're going to have a minute of that to be able to push this one. And this is not the turret you want to die at, Rogue Warriors. If you can get it engaged, good for you, but this is not the one you want to die defending, as the cannon minion is going to be a little bit. You can see the damage going down. The equalizer comes across as well. And
that's going to force resets.
Yeah, it's going to force resets, and that equalizer's on such a short cooldown that we're going to see another minion wave come in. They're probably going to be able to have enough just to be able to take down this tier 2. I will say, not the greatest of Baron power plays, only 2,500 gold, and they are going to commit the TP to it as well, just to make sure, but they're not even going to commit to this one. They know they have the Mountain Soul. They know they can want to look for this fight.
It's the Dragon already started up. Here's the TP coming in from 8917. Dragon is going to get Tempered Fate to buy some time. Dragon got 4,500 health here. Here comes the engage from Rogue Warriors, though. Bit split, as you've got Irma taking on 8917. Ice Cook just running through the battlefield. Dragon's already gone. Now you got the Mountain Soul. Look at the shields. And there's already chaos through the ranks of the Rogue Warriors. They are getting decimated. They are getting obliterated. And Ultra Prime are shining through. They're looking for blood here. They're going straight for it. That's a huge show maker, if you will, in ZS and Irma coming through. It's going to be a huge win for Ultra Prime. They're taking it to the towers. They're looking for the inhibs, and the death timers are big on the side of Rogue Warriors.
That Showmaker was over in LCK, but here he is in the LPL playing on top of set for Ultra Prime, and this is going to be the win. They get their first series win of Summer 2021, and great way to bring it back.
Absolutely wondrous. After that first game, we had some questions for sure for Ultra Prime, but they have silenced those questions. They have shown us 2 back-to-back dominating games against Rogue Warriors, and they will give themselves that leg up, as you said.
This is a huge win for them. Like we said, this could be 2 of the bottom place teams. This could be, and it sounds awful to say, but this could be a battle of the last place teams. Yeah. So for Rogue Warriors, you're still 0-2 against a team that would have been of roughly the same quality as you. It's not looking great, but congratulations to, Ultra Prime. They have looked good. They have looked competitive in their games. They went to all 3 against FPX. They were able to kind of, find situations that work for them. And it feels like right now, Ultra Prime, they should have, some kind of ways of making some wins happen for them later on in the season.
Yeah, exactly. The strength is, at least the structure and the strength is there that we've seen. We've seen, as you said, taking it to FPX all 3 games. The slight decision changes that could have changed that series completely. And for me, to get the first dub for the new brand, for the new name, like that just feels good, right? You might not see it on the faces right now, but it feels really good, at least to make sure you know that you can win, right, Penguin? Like, you know that it's possible. You can do it. You have achieved it before. So I hope that this trends upwards here for Ultra Prime, and they can really start shoring up some of those communication issues, some of those map call issues that we've seen them have, and really make a strong effort here in Summer Split, even if they are towards the bottom of the table.
Yeah, you hit a very important thing there as well. The fact that you can believe it, you can do it. And I think the big thing that they'll be very happy with coming off of this, victory is that, they looked well. They had some small little issues. They still have a lot of things they need to figure out, but Hacker, SMLZ are still looking good. Irma in this particular, game was playing instead of Xiao Xiao Bao. So see if that's a mainstay for the roster going forward. But I think you're still pretty damn happy if you're the side of Ultra Prime. You got what you wanted today, which was the dub.
Yep, exactly that. That's what's important in the League of Legends season, especially in the standings for that season. But I just think that the way that Ultra Prime were able to win, especially in that last game, where it was just like a stranglehold against Rogue Warriors, and being able to steal away the Mountain Soul and just completely force that fight, and honestly force the fight every time. And also the fact that Forge was so desperately looking for those engages, looking for those flanks, and they looked good, but the decisions from Ultra Prime were to turn onto Forge, knowing that he is that way into their backline, that they know that he is the one that really can get that burst damage on the members that matter, and they were able to fool it every time.
Yeah,
Foil?
and I think that's the big thing. And for Rogue Warriors kind of moving forward, it's just it's unfortunate you've kind of lost against the team that was just above you in spring, and you lost against the team that came second in spring. So it's kind of, you're not winning on any spectrum right now. And they went 1-15, I believe, in spring. So they need to pick up a win if they want to equal or get better. There's still plenty of games to play, but not a huge amount of positives to draw from that.
I will say the one positive that I see in this, you gotta give the positive spin, right, Penguin? It's Zhong Wuji that I really appreciate in this one. I think you still see in this third game, the damage chart for Zhong Wuji was insane. But we got to look at the actual win that Ultra Prime were able to get. It was very dominating, 8-2 in towers, 4 dragons to 1. Had the Baron, had just complete control over the map. And you can say all you want about Forge on the Akali, trying to find ways. Zhong Wuji's looking really good on the Ezreal, but in the end, it was the team play and the different styles that we saw. Maybe not through that top mid, because we just saw a lot of transitions between picks, but it's especially SMLZ being able to pull out the Kog'Maw, be able to pull out the Senna. A lot of late game focus there for the side of Ultra Prime.
Yeah, and for Ultra Prime, like SMLZ and Xiaoxi played like 3 different bot lanes, 3 different games in a row. Like they played the Kog'Maw Lulu, they played the Kai'Sa, I can't even remember what the support was in the first game, and then they played the Tahm Kench Senna. So they were able to create these opportunities and also to build off different advantages regardless of the composition they built in that bot side. And it does feel a little bit like for Ultra Prime, they're very separated in the sense that they know what they want for top lane, they know what they want for jungle, and the bot lane can do whatever the hell it wants. It doesn't really matter to them in that regard. But yeah, still a great win.
I just liked the little flair of the Lee Sin to finish us out the game. As I just think that was really awesome to finish it out. And guess what? ZS gets the dub on the MVP. Gonna be pulling it through with the Lee Sin.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like this is very much a long time coming. ZS has been really looking fantastic so far this split. Yes, this is his first win, and yes, his first MVP, but he has really been popping off on the likes of the Nars, the Lee Sins, and really kind of showing to be, again, another great top lane talent that we have in the LPL.
I just love to see the growth and development coming through. But as well as I kind of said it earlier as well, but the flair especially coming through. So I absolutely love it. Want to see the growth continue for ZS and see if he can pick up some more of those MVPs. We do have an interview heading up with Wendy talking to Xiaoxi.
Welcome to interview, and now I'm standing by with Xiaoxi from UP. So congratulations on today's win, and it's also the first win from the team in the split. So how do you feel about this very precious victory? 那首先恭喜你们今天很漂亮拿下了比赛的胜利，这也是我们 UP 的一个赛季首胜嘛，也是比较珍贵的一个首胜。所以说现在有没有什么特别的一个感受呢？
赢下比赛当然很开心啊，因为毕竟这是我们第一场的首胜，前面几场表现也没有很好。
Definitely, I'm very happy about today's victory because this is our first win in the split, and to be honest, we didn't manage to perform that good in the previous matchup in the split. And now, let's talk a bit more about the roster changes because so many people put very high expectations on the bot deal from UP between you and SMLZ. So could you share more about the synergy with him? Do you guys have a very good synergy currently? 那接下来我们也说一下我们的一个人员变动嘛。其实现在有很多人都对我们小 C 和我们马哥的一个下路组合有很高的一个期待值嘛。然后现在想比较好奇的就是你们现在的一个配合的默契程度怎么样了呢？能和我们分享一下吗？那个配合的默契呢，应该是已经100多1%了吧？因为我们下路彼此都有那种心有灵犀，配合应该都很好。 I think in terms of our synergy between me and SMLZ, I should say it's over 100%, should be 100% and 1. So I think two of us really have a very good synergy. We have a we have understandings towards each other. We have a super good synergy. And also, let's talk a bit more about the game 3 because we feel like in the last game, RW, they tended to make many hard engagement from the main game, but from every single team fight, UP was a team that were able to grab more leads. So could you share more about the team's communication during the mid game and how to just punish their mistakes? 那其实说到第3局比赛，我们能够感觉到 RW 他们好像是在中期就有很多波比较果断的想要去开团，但是反而是每一波都是被我们的 UP 给打了回来，然后呢拿到了更多的优势。所以想问一下，你们可能中期怎么样去处理他们的这些果断的一些开团，对内有怎么样一个沟通吗？
我们中期处理就是因为他们很爱开团嘛，然后我们就是一直沟通，我们只要慢慢打就会赢，只要慢慢打就会赢。然后我们就是主要看谁，然后打谁，我们都讲得很清楚，所以我们才会很轻松的赢下团战。
I think for the mid game team fights, we have already realized that the opponent team they may have so many hard engagement. So we try to slow down our pace. So in the team's communication, we just said to each other, let's try to slow down a bit. And then we are very clear about which teammates we should protect more and which opponent's team we should be targeted on. So that's because of this, we were able to have a very clean team fight that we're able to close up the game so cleanly. And now my last question is, nowadays we have seen a really wide variety of the support champion choices in the current meta. So how do you have, what's your perspective towards the support champion choices in the current meta? And also we have realized that UP, you always leave the support champion choices to the 5th or the 4th pick. So could we know the reason behind that? 那其实我们在现在的版本就感觉辅助英雄好像可以登场的有很多嘛，所以说也比较好奇小 C 对我们辅助这个版本的一些整个的生态有什么样的一个想法，而且同时我们也感觉到好像 UP 大部分的时候都会把辅助的选择放在第4手或者第5手，在 BP 的阶段，所以说我们也比较好奇，就是这背后的原因会是什么呢？
因为我的英雄池比较深嘛，我玩的英雄都比较多变化，然后现在比较 OP 的英雄都需要在前面抢下来。我们的队伍很需要他们那些 OP 英雄，然后因为我跟我们团队说我的英雄很多，然后我跟马哥也配合得来，所以我放到下面去选没有关系。
Because I think I have a really wide champion pool and I can master it with so many different champions. And also in the current meta, there are so many OP champions or very strong champions for the other lanes or the jungler position. So I just told my teammates, you can just leave my champion choice to the 4th or the 5th pick during the ban pick stage because I have a very good synergy with SMLZ and definitely have a wide champion pool to hold this. So that's the reason for us to have this ban pick strategy. And definitely you guys have a super good performance and congratulations on today's win. 再次恭喜你们，希望你们接下来能拿更多的胜利。And back to you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you so much, Xiaoxi. And I just got to shout out Wendy's braid there. That hard braid is next level. Penguin heard me screaming, and that's like big brain stuff right there. But also big brain from Xiaoxi there, being able to see that synergy kind of growing and the friendship potentially as well between him and SMLZ.
Yeah, it'll take time. You know, this is a new, relatively new bot lane. It's a relatively new team, to be perfectly honest, in terms of how it's come together. And you know, they need time to gel together. So I certainly hope with this win and with extra time, they'll continue to grow and you know, maybe be a bit of a threat towards the later stage of the season.
Yeah, exactly that. And honestly, wouldn't mind hearing from SMLZ himself as well one of these days when we get him. So I can't wait. But that was a heck of a first series of the night. We got 3 games, 3 banger games. But now we got to take a little bit of a cool down while we get ready for the next series of the night. Will be JDG taking on LNG right after this break.